Hi everyone, so nice to see you again. So now this is 2019 and I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year holiday, and certainly I had some good time myself as well. So over the holiday I realized something quite interesting, so I thought I may share with you in this video. Many of you know that end of last year I released my first book, Goddess with Many Faces, so you can probably see it here. Yes, that's the book. And it was really great journey. I was really happy. And obviously there's a lot to do before the book launch, get it published, and during the launch and a little bit after the launch. But I guess you get on the ride, such an excitement. So it wasn't overwhelming. It was very busy, but I was thrilled. And I think the second week that we were on Amazon, it was actually top 11th on the bestseller list for self-help, motivation, and transformation. So I was very pleased. And then Christmas came, and right before that, I had all the plans about, working on my new coaching program. Have a lot to-do list and scheduling all this kind of stuff. I don't know. Like, I love the time where, it's a bit quiet, not as many business activities happening, and then you get some time with your family, but you also get some time alone. So I was really banking on working on my project. And then what happened was that suddenly it came to a point I felt I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't get into the study. I couldn't sit on this chair. And it was really odd because right before I was very pumped because, all the excitement and everything. But then obviously it dawned on me that I was exhausted after all. I mean, we all need recovery. Like, if you go to exercise class, after vigorous exercise, you need stretch, you need recovery. You can't just go on like that every day for very strenuous exercise. And I think the same because I have done so much right up to the point after the launch. So I needed the recovery, but I didn't know because the excitement, sometimes your emotion and your feelings and your ideas kind of overtook the whole thing. So you will keep on paddling because you really want to, because you're excited, which is not a bad thing if that's the flow. But then when it comes to a point where I have plans and I just couldn't do it, literally I couldn't get onto this sit. And of course I can physically, but I didn't want to and have such a resistance, which is unusual for me. And if people like myself or you who are watching this video, you may love to make plans and, make things and, creative in many ways. So that was very unusual. And all I wanted to do was coloring, singing, dancing, drawing, journaling. I read a lot, and it was a very quiet time during that space. And at first I was really resisting, and actually this video is really about resistance, and I want to talk about ambitions and also about your desire and your creative flow, because sometimes we're so driven by our dreams or ambition that we think we want to achieve certain things to achieve certain success, and even though success means different things to different people. So for example, with my book, my definition of success may be if I could, if people like it, or I sell a certain amount, or I'm just pleased with the fact that I got it out there, that could fulfill my intentions. So I will consider a successful project. So everybody has a different definition. So some people may say I must hit the bestseller list. Some people may say I must make certain money or lead me to certain opportunities. So everybody have different definition because everybody have different reasons why they write a book, right? Or some people really just want to pull the story out to help people, which is also part of my reason. So, and then what I realized is that sometimes people push so hard to succeed in a way or to fulfill their ambitions, and then sometimes pushing does not necessarily get them faster, because I knew if I keep pushing myself and going, even though I know inside of me I needed the creative time, the time out because I was exhausted, if I just blindly follow what, make it happen, that kind of energy, then I wouldn't be as productive. What I create wouldn't be as good. And the most important thing is that I wouldn't be enjoying it, because I think that's one of the most important things. During my entire self-publishing journey, I enjoy every single part of it. And I think it's really important that, no happy ending comes from an unhappy journey. So I think you need to enjoy. And many people say it's always the journey that matters, and yes, that has some truth in it. But I also think that don't expect to have you arrive in a happy place when your entire journey wasn't enjoyable or revealing in some way, because sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's not a bad thing, because you will realize a lot of things. Even, for example, during the time that I was really resisting, and I just want to have time out and do drawing and coloring and go for walks, I knew there's a good reason for it, and I just didn't like to listen to my inner guidance. And you know, sometimes we also fall short in what we teach, and that's an opportunity to think about it and self-reflect. And for me, that's the perfect time when your body, your inner self is telling you to slow down, or things is not moving as the way you like it, or your external circumstances not letting you to push forward. Then it's a very good opportunity to just take it slow and think about it, listen to it, declutter some of your thoughts. Some of them may be negative, and maybe think about why you want to do what you do again, because sometimes we need to refine our goals or think about it. Does it still serve us? Sometimes we need to review it. And it also help us at the time, the break, the slowing down, help us to renew the spark, the energy. And then we will come in with new ideas, more inspired ideas or new actions. So taking time off is so important. And I guess maybe many people were taking the opportunity during Christmas and New Year, and I certainly needed it, but I didn't know I needed it. Oh, my conscious mind was saying, no, keep going, because that's a great opportunity. You felt great. But then my inner knowings was saying something completely different, because I couldn't put myself into this chair. And also that things like slowing down, sometimes it's good. You also figure out, okay, so I may need certain skills or certain habits, and that's a perfect time to establish them or learn them. And it also gives you opportunity to gain more clarity, because if you don't stop and just stay still, you can't think it through some of the things, because we're so used to pushing through the motions. So if you find you are working on a project and it's not moving anywhere, there's external and internal reasons, don't consider it necessarily a bad thing. That's the time for you to slow down, take a pause, get still, and think about why it's happening this way and what should be my next step, and what's the skills or habit that I need to establish right now. These are all opportunities. So don't consider those so-called obstacles or period that you're not moving as fast as you like necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes pushing is not necessarily get you there faster, because it's all about being more efficient and productive and actually creating the best work you can. And sometimes it takes time, but also patience and consistency. And most important thing is to listen to the inner guidance. So I would like to know, is it something that resonates with you? Is this something you face as well, that, you set a deadline, which we all should honor, but then somehow during the wedlock, along the journey, things got slow and you just don't know how to deal with yourself. And often it's just a period that you just need to, tune inward and think about what you need to learn, what you need to know right now. And you may still meet the deadline, because if you're actually working productively and efficiently, you can just catch up later. So I think what I'm trying to say is to really listen to your inner voice, listen to the reality around you, because they are signs, they are, information for you to take in. So be clear, be open, and also be conscious about all this. So when you running, pushing, then you can't get still, and then you can't see the signs, you can't hear the inner voice. So it's so important not to be overwhelmed with your ambition, and take action when you're inspired, and take the time you need it. And that's what I've learned during the holidays. So I hope this is helpful to that I'm talking about ambition, about being in a creative flow, take the time that you need, listen to inner guidance. So I hope this is, this is no rocket science. Many times that we know, we read, we hear about it, but then often we need to be reminded. And I hope my little journey during the Christmas and New Year, it's some sort of reminder for you as well, if you are facing this sort of situation at the moment. So I hope this is helpful. I'm aiming to do more of these short videos in 2019, and I hope you a great start of the year. So speak to you soon next time.